Okay. Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is Don Lanning. Back again. Wonderful week of another Making Monsters 101. I'm back here with Adam Conte. Welcome back, sir.
Good to be back.
Good to have you back. Well, what can I say? I just want to kind of turn this for a second. This has been a phenomenal week, and it seems so great that this week would happen leading up to the holidays. A lot of you out there know Adam's come back and worked on this beautiful chimpanzee, which is so awesome. Let me turn it out to you this way. And great expression. This is all in wet clay. You'll remember Adam, last time we were here a month ago, Adam had done like a, what would you call it? Like an ogre? Or
yeah, like an ogre guy.
Like an ogre who had a wolf's head, or wolf's hat, I should say, which offered some different stuff. And Adam got into picking and doing the fine detail. This is definitely a different meditation in that you have kind of rubbery kind of wrinkles. So we were able to get into something really different. And also soft forms playing against wrinkles. Listen, man, I want you to bring up, would you bring up your laptop and take a second? I'm just going to have you turn it towards the camera. We won't spend too much time. But tell us a little bit about what you were feeling and why you chose these.
Yeah, well, I chose to do a chimp, and he's doing a smile, which I gather in chimps isn't always a friendly gesture.
Yeah, could be very threatening. Yeah.
So I chose a couple. This guy, I just like his. He's a little cuter, but yeah. He's got some great lines on his face, and
sure
the upper
does.
lip kind of curling in is quite interesting. And
yeah, he's got great compression up in here. Also, I love the teeth. Your teeth very much are an echo of this. Some monkeys have horrible, bizarre-looking teeth that are experiencing all kinds of rot. It's fun when you see, this must be a younger individual. These teeth, to me, seem youthful, and the forms are just cool.
Yeah, I thought this guy was cool looking. It's a good photo.
Yep.
I don't even know if this is a chimp, but it's an example of the smile looking a little less threatening. A little more threatening.
Yeah.
And to show how that can kind of have different sort of emotional impacts. And he's got some interesting kind of curls coming down from the side of his eyes. And
he looks deranged.
He does.
A lot of us have heard these stories about poor people that train the monkeys, and they get angry, the politics go bad, and you have somebody who's so crazy and disfigured. I don't mind telling you, I love these monkeys. I love simians. I love sculpting the gorillas. I know you now do too. But I wouldn't want to be in close proximity to a chimpanzee. That's me personally,
This is just another chimpanzee. You can kind of get a nice look of the pinching of the wrinkles above the nose.
Here,
and
compression.
He's just got great coloration, I also think, too. For whenever I eventually paint him, he'll be kind of an inspiration.
Right.
And then, lastly, this is just one photo, but we looked at some of Rick Baker's stuff for a variety of movies. Maybe Greystoke would be the most...
That's the one that comes to mind, right?
Yeah. So we kind of looked at those two to kind of see some inspiration there, and also
that's right,
because he was sculpting him without fur, as this guy so it's a useful reference.
And usually it's funny because I usually don't look at another artist's telling of a subject matter, especially if I'm entering into wildlife. But a lot of our conversations this week were about Rick Baker's work, and of course Greystoke, if you haven't seen it, is probably, to me, one of the greatest examples of sculpting chimpanzees. The mother chimpanzee stands out in my brain, but everybody's got such beautiful character. And, on some of my pages, I've talked about the poetry of sculpting monkeys. A lot of times in sculpture for film and television, fans of sculpture start off looking at Rick Baker's work, and we followed him for many years with each new ape suit, with each new film being kind of the high water mark for what's going on in sculpture and technology at that time in that decade. That was kind of how we the high water mark, how we would find out what was going on. And I've mentioned, thank you, Adam, for watching my. If you're starting out sculpting for the first time, there are wonderful lessons and things along the path that you can experience when you're sculpting. Certainly a chimpanzee, certainly a gorilla. And what that is some of the planes in the face. They're complex. You have a flat plane that lays here below the eyes, and especially so with gorillas. And it isn't always obvious, even through hunting through reference, how that plane lays. And then you have this soft palette that's, once again, you mentioned the color of it. Even the color of it speaks of a softness and of a flexibility that's just intense, playing against what is essentially leathery wrinkles. And so the juxtaposition that these type of animals have just naturally is something so special and something to enjoy when you're learning your sculpture, when you're learning your lines and stuff. I always have to ask this because I like people to know, what was something that was difficult, something that was hard to get here, and by turn, what was maybe something that was gratifying when you did get it? What was different for you? Was there a challenge in here? I'm going to turn it away again. Don't let me hit. There you go.
The teeth were an interesting challenge that I hadn't really done before, I hadn't really been happy with how I'd done teeth before.
Teeth, yeah.
So, and then the gums as well, and that was interesting. Getting the wrinkling right, the patterns was a challenge of making it not feel too symmetrical or organized, but also not feeling too asymmetrical or illogical, and trying to strike a middle ground there.
Well, symmetry is way overrated. We need our symmetry in our foundation, in the underlying skull certainly, but part of the things that gives us our character is the strangeness in our faces. I have an Elvis cheek that goes halfway up my face, but that's indigenous to me. That's something special about me. And everybody has a very even face, but, uneven face, asymmetrical. And I feel like you got a lot of that here in the brow. I watched Adam take small shapes, small pieces of clay, and load them into the brow while referencing real life and trying to get kind of a bumpy, almost pillows within pillows kind of a feeling here in the brow, which is very chimpanzee-like. And I feel like you got some of that shadow work in there. Not to grab everything here, but I want to tell you some of the things that also please me so much is the kind of brevity and the cleanliness of the lower muzzle here. It's wonderful, very much in keeping with reference in that you have the soft area here, but there's also a certain form to it. There's a certain beauty and roundness and simplicity to that form that is fantastic. I feel like you got that. Adam and I talked a lot about how the leading edge of any monkey's mouth or any simian mouth is very important, and how you vault that, how you give it a little bit of English, if you will, how you sweeten it matters so much to the character of the creature. And that's part of also the big adventure of sculpting things like this is what are you going to do to kind of not be too loud, not overstate a vault, but give something that's pleasing to the overall. And I feel like he got that. Also, I love the fat that you found in sculpting the nostrils. Those of you out there who've sculpted gorillas or what have you, you know that you get lost in the poetry of that, and you're looking for opportunities that speak of nature or speak of compression. But he got these fat kind of rolls that come out of the nostril, which to me look very natural, but make the nose a little older, a little bit more interesting, which is awesome. Anyways, brother, I guess the thing I really want to talk to you about is the compression. Adam worked very hard. And when we have these discussions in the workplace or in class or wherever we have the discussion, when you have a mass of flesh that is pushing or being compressed by an expression. When you have these opportunities, it's just the best because, of course, any flesh that flanks the mouth, any flesh that flanks the eyes, whether it be human, simian, and a variety of other animals, many animals no, but that is emotional flesh. When you're dealing with those areas, you're dealing with stuff that is probably going to convey a certain amount of emotion. I love that you ran over to Bishkoff's, which is great. The beginning of the class, we're about 2 buildings down from Bishkoff's. Adam went over and got some eyes from the local taxidermy, which is just 2 buildings over. So he got these great eyes. But once again, back to that compression. See how he's raised and bagged the lower lid? That gives me a feeling of the character leering or sizing things up. He's not wide-eyed, and open. He's kind of calculating and compressed once again. And without doing an over-compression here in the brow, I feel like you could have gone terribly angry, you know what I mean? Almost human-like. And I like that you kind of stayed. It's compressing. There's definitely attitude in it, but it's not over-arced. So we still can see all the forms and enjoy that. But I got to ask you, you sculpted this with no hair. We talked about this. You're going to punch hair? What do you think?
I'll probably lay hair and then punch the front of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And tell them what you're talking about when you say lay hair and then punch the front.
Just basically for the back, you take hair and you kind of you glue it on its very ends, to the thing, and you do it bit by bit.
Right.
And then, from maybe the last couple inches or so, you punch it with a needle.
And so certainly in here.
Yeah, so it's actually coming out of the thing.
Yeah, you can see the hair follicle and it's coming right out. Well, and that's wonderful because you add so much being able to look through the hair and to see the anatomy through the hair. Also, I want to tell you, I'm also so entertained. I love the softness of the ears. That's another wonderful juxtaposition. You have kind of the coarse texture in this area, softness in the ears. Look at this tendon, folks. Isn't that wonderful? Not only does this big, giant muscle here talk about being able to move and crane that head around, but you also have a little bit of tension here, which is certainly worth mentioning. Also, look how he's done this dropout wrinkle here. Anyways, really wonderful. And I want to tell you, you guys know me out there. I love to talk about my emotions and all my feelings. I'm so happy to work with you. Adam has come on. Adam is kind of a little bit newer to our community, but he's come on with such a great narrative and great taste. One of the things that's hard to impart to folks is how to self-edit and to be a good designer, a good sculptor. I've worked on it for many years. You have to be able to edit yourself. In the moment with a specific wrinkle, you have to say, okay, this thing is not working. I've got to jump back in. I've got to wipe it out, repair it, go again. But you need to know when it's working. You have that. And so it's been a lot of fun to work with you. And once again, I want you to follow Adam because his last 3 sculptures with me have been wonderful. And I feel also very proud of you, if you don't mind me saying, because the tool use, I use a very specific tool set, folks. You all know that I love the rubber tip tools. There's a place for rakes, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten rid of many of the raking and a lot of the scratching about that I used to do. But it's been a pleasure to show you this tool set that is very specific to me. And once again, a lot of what you would call fleshy stuff. Certainly on your last sculpture and all in the previous sculpture on the buzzard or the vulture, here in this area, you were able to get some very organic stuff. And with each turn, now we're into something that's very fleshy. And needless to say, we're back to the muzzle of a simian, where you can't get more fleshy than that. So you've done well. You've done good. Fist bump, good Lord. But I'm proud of you. And, well, needless to say, I know that this is going to go home with you. You're heading home to see your family for the holidays. He's going to come back and pick this up, and he's going to take this home. I think there's going to be a little bit more finessing once again, we try to get our sculptures up to show you to about 80% in this Making Monsters 101 experience so that we can have nice photos for you and also be able to share our week with you. But I know he's going to go home and take some of this information, some of the tools, and keep on bringing it into a crisp moment where he's done. And once you call it, then I know you're going to make a mold of it. And it's funny, I didn't talk to you about this, but as I look at this cut here, the way he did the back here, he stopped the neck here, which once again, we didn't talk about this, but I believe this could be a nice mask.
Yeah.
Granted, you might have to put a piece of foam in, which many mask companies, I don't know if you remember, there was a mask company that made huge masks, Mario Kyoto. This is maybe 20 years ago. But they often had a piece of foam in there to take up some space. This looks like it's going to be a wonderful mask. And so, needless to say, whether it be a display head or whatever, I'm excited to see your finished version. And you guys out there, go ahead and follow Adam, and he'll be posting in the future. Now, I know that we're looking forward to December, and I'm so happy you're coming back. We just have talked about it a little bit. I would love to tease everybody. Do you want to give us? And we don't have to do this.
It's too far out. It may change 100 times. So we'll.
That's okay.
I don't want to commit on video.
Okay. Well.
It'll be different. It'll be very different.
It'll be different. And once again, what he's trying to do consciously is with each time he and I get together, and we want to invite you to December. I want you to look in the description below, and later tonight I'm going to put in the information for our December class, which happens early into December. I know we all have the holidays. I don't want to bump into the holidays, but we want Adam and I want you to join us for the next Making Monsters 101, and absolutely, it's a conscious thing. Every time you come in, we're trying to do something with Adam where he picks a totally different subject. And so far, you've been pretty good at that. And if you sign up to come join us, you don't have to know what your subject is until the first day of class. And you probably could even change your concept on the first day.
I've done it.
Yeah, you have. But once we lock in, we do drawings, we have a little bit of brainstorming, and then we jump into clay. And from there, we know what we're going to do. But give him a little something. Maybe something mechanical, right?
Maybe
something. Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
Some out there, yeah.
Okay. Well, he's done a lot of fleshiness and detail and a lot of picking stuff on the last one as well. But maybe we'll do something a little mechanical in the future. But needless to say, I had a wonderful time this week. And anytime anybody around me is doing a monkey, it's exciting. It makes me want to sculpt a gorilla or a chimpanzee. And once again, it's made me enthusiastic. I hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of your time on Friday with us. Once again, Adam and I will be here at the beginning of December. I hope you come and join us. You pick your concept. One of the joys of my class is I'm here to make you strong. It's not about you watching me sculpt so much. It's about me helping you sculpt through a sculpture that you may never have imagined for yourself, or a format size that that perhaps you wouldn't think of for yourself. I'm here to tell you that if you've never sculpted before, if you want to do a full-size head, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And we stand with you and we make you strong. And so,
nor do you even need a particularly creative concept. Just do a monkey. Yeah.
Well, no matter what concept we get, we want to make it as good as we possibly can. Sometimes we're taking life and making it a little better, or bakerizing it is what we called it in childhood. But needless to say, to our artistic community out there, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, happy holidays. Be safe, be creative. Get over to wherever you shop, the hobby store, and get yourself some clay. Come join me if you can, and if not, just make some art for your family. Stay warm during the holidays, and we appreciate spending time with you. This is Don Lanning from Making Monsters 101, here with Adam Conte, wishing you the very best in the end of the year here, and we'll see you in the upcoming year and for December. Take care now. Well, turn it for me, would you? Just turn it a little bit as we go out, and I'll stop this. Yeah, man. is fantastic. Well, I need my spectacles to do it. Thank you. Yep. All right. Isn't that great? Now, let me see how I...
Hey everybody, this is Don Lanning coming to you from Monsterpalooza. I want to tell you I have a new class coming up for December. Look below in the description and give me a call for information. I'd love to see you in class.